Three, two, one. All right. So we just finished season 3, episode 9, the Red Wedding episode of Game of Thrones. We have not discussed anything. We went right into recording this episode. Mary, your thoughts on the Red Wedding?
I feel like we need to take a break because I need time to process my emotions before I could probably properly express them. I am very upset. I'm very upset. Um, Before we started the episode, I ran down a list of people that I didn't want to die and what I was going to hope like happened in the series. And you didn't say shit. You just let me go along with my dreams. And now they're crushed. Like everybody died. Fucking everybody died. Sorry, part of my language. It's now explicit.
That's fine. So this is how today has gone for us. Mary arrived at my house at about 10 a.m. and we went right into season 3, episode 9 of Game of Thrones, The Red Wedding. And then we have not spoken a word since the episode finished.
No, actually, I needed to like take a lap and take a minute, and you wouldn't let me. You said, "Okay, let's start." And
So
I am still. I don't want to cry in front of people, but I wanted to cry very badly.
you're allowed to cry in front of me. It's fine. So what we'll do is we're going to do this segment and then we'll take a little break and we'll discuss it and then we'll come back on the air. So, you know, I've given this episode a lot of anticipation for you. What were your thoughts? What did you think was going to happen going into this episode?
So because you had referred to it as the Red Wedding, and I was like, okay, so to me that meant like because like the Lannister family is the lion and like their flags are red, so I thought that had something to do with what was going to happen. Um, but then you know what? I got honeypotted a little bit because good things happened leading up to that. Like Sam, I love him. His character's developing, and he's got some good things going on. And then you know it was a little sad that Rickon left Bran, but I just feel like I wasn't ready for the type of heartache I just experienced. Like it would have been sad enough that they killed Rob's wife. Like that would have been enough for me. That was enough for me. It could have ended there and I still would have probably been a mess. And the fact that they just like stabbed her right where like in her stomach, like that was really messed up. I had a very hard time with that. And then they kill the wolf. Like you're gonna go that far? They're killing pets now.
Yeah, no pets are safe around those people.
I had a really hard time with that. And I really like it's so heartbreaking to me because Arya was right there and her mom and her brother were right there, like between walls, and they freaking died. Both of them, they died. Everybody died. And you know what? F the bullet, like, oh, I have so much hatred and sadness in my heart right now.
So at this point, who do you hate more? Do you hate Joffrey more or Walder Frey?
I hate them both equally, but for different reasons.
Okay. All right.
But I also hate Prince Joffrey. I really like he made me mad from day one. So I guess my hatred has just been strong and steady. He's my blue chip hatred.
Right.
Okay. And Frey and Bolton are my Bitcoin. It's a new hatred.
I think what's really important about this episode is the writer, wanted to illustrate to the reading audience and now the viewing audience of the show that nobody's safe. No character is safe.
And you know what?
I get to dictate who I kill off.
And when we were talking about it, like halfway through it, I didn't trust what was happening to Daenerys Targaryen. And I was like, man, I don't trust anybody. I hate that I trust no one. And for good reason. I shouldn't have trusted anyone. And I did. And now look at me.
You can't trust anyone.
Now look at me.
You never know. You never know. And that's what, when you first started watching it, and I told you, I said, you're gonna think that someone is the guy, the main character, Ned Stark. And then the end of season 1, gone. And then obviously Robb Stark, King of the North, he's a big deal. Gone. And then you don't even have time to process it. That's what's crazy about that episode is you don't even have time to process Robb Stark's death because 30 seconds later, Catelyn gets her throat slit.
The thing is I didn't even have enough time to process the wolf dying. Okay, like there wasn't enough time to process any of it. And why did they like? I don't know. I don't know.
So for our
I feel like I
listeners,
need a therapy session after this.
I did record Mary on my phone. It'll be on our YouTube channel. There's not really any like major audible things that I can put in
Because
the
I couldn't
episode.
speak. I
I
was
know. I
stunned.
get it. I get it. But
I'm afraid of what my face looks like even now.
you do look distraught. You're not I have a feeling you could be Martini Mary by the end of the day instead of Mimosa Mary, because I don't see
I'm
any
just gonna go put a
bubbles.
straw in my champagne bottle because
Right?
I haven't felt a hurt and a loss like this in a very long time.
It's a really rough episode to get through, and that was
Like I feel like I need to know what's going to happen. Like how are we going to avenge their deaths? Like we need to fall into action, people. Like we all need to rise.
it takes several seasons.
Also, this happened many years ago, so I'm calling upon people.
Yeah, listen, this is what's great about that. Game of Thrones ended like 2 years ago. Like the Red Wedding was probably like 10 years ago.
No, it wasn't 10 years ago, was it?
That episode aired. Give me 2 seconds and I'll find it. That episode aired June 2nd, 2013. So that was like 8 years ago. 8 years ago is when that episode aired, the Reigns of Castamere. And it's fun having you experience all this, because this and again, I was way behind the 8 ball too. I didn't start until season 8. But that episode for me, I'll never forget. That's like one of those moments, like, do you remember where you were when? And that episode for me, Rachel and I were living in our townhome. She was outside and I was binging Game of Thrones. And I remember after that episode, now, when I turned on the episode, because she had watched this, she had watched everything before me, it was at the spot where Rob's wife was on the ground. So like I already knew that something was going to happen to her, but I had no idea what else was going to happen. So I literally walk outside after this, much like you, just I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. I just sat down, opened up a beer, smoked like 5 cigarettes, and I was like, everybody's dead. Then
everybody
like,
I love is
you
dead.
just saw the Red Wedding. And I was like,
everyone I love is dead.
Yep. It's a rough one. It's a rough one.
I just don't know how I recover from this.
Well, I will tell you that in we're going to try to get to some other episodes of Game of Thrones today. In 3 more episodes, it'll be a better feeling episode. So we'll try to get to that today. We've got a lot to do today because we're going to try to record 2 episodes.
We should have saved this for the end because I am not of any use right now.
You'll be all right. I promise you.
I need time to process.
I know. So, the other things that happen in the episode, I rewatched it with you. It's the first time that I've rewatched the whole episode. I don't even know what's going on. The rest of the episode is irrelevant once the last 10 minutes happen.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was definitely overshadowed, but maybe that's why they set it up to be like so calm. There really wasn't a ton of craziness until that. Yep. That's why I was like, I felt like I got honeypotted. Like everything was relatively good until that. I don't know what to do with myself.
You're gonna be okay.
Yes, maybe. I don't know. I need therapy. Not from myself. Yeah, I need to go consult my bottle of Andre in the fridge and see what he thinks about this situation. Maybe Tito has an input. I don't know.
It's tough. It's a tough one.
I don't know how you guys are all out there just living your days knowing that they all died and you're okay with it.
No, we're not. It's a traumatic episode that there's so much more that happens in the show. I mean, you're only on season 3. You've got you're gonna finish season 3 today. There's still 4 more seasons of this stuff to watch. So there's a lot that happens, and there's a lot of other character development. There's a lot of things that'll make you happy, that'll make you angry. But this was to me, this episode was like, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, this is in season 2 when Sophia, the little girl, comes out of the barn and she's a walker. That was that moment for me, because never in a million years did I think that they would make a child a zombie or kill off a child character, and there they did. Much like
they have no issue killing off anybody.
No,
I trust no one.
And that's the thing. That's what's so important about this episode, is I think that it now, you can't fall in love with anybody, because
they'll die
never
and
know.
Die.
You never
and then
know.
Everyone will die.
Exactly. You never
Everyone
know
dies.
who is going to die in the show. I mean, they kill off Ned Stark. I mean, the major character in season 1.
Yeah, and almost his whole family. And I mean, just even minute people. You can't even just live in peace. They killed off a horse farmer just for no reason.
Right.
Like, they're like, we want your horses. You're dead.
Yep. And you keep asking me questions about the Daenerys Targaryen story, like that storyline and what's going on. It took me several seasons to get behind what was going on with her, because to me it was a distraction from everything else.
No, I love her character. Like, I feel like just watching her go through everything has been a lot for me. She's done a lot of good work, but now I feel like she's in a really weird situation. I don't trust these cats that she's hanging out with right now.
I get all that, but to me, the major story was what's going on with the Starks, what's going on with Arya, what's going on with Bran, the Lannisters, all of that. So every time they went to
we didn't
Daenerys,
see much. We literally saw nothing from the Lannisters in this episode, other than
the Lannisters and their regard.
Oh,
yeah. So to me, every time they go to the Daenerys Targaryen story,
you're like, well, let's get back to the real story.
Yeah, I'm like, let's get back to the main thing. Now, after it does make sense, and I get it all, and it's like almost the major thing. I mean, it's two stories colliding, or a bunch of little stories into this one big story. And
I feel like I need it to clean up a little bit. I need all these small storylines to come together.
It takes some time.
Because for me, I can't hate multiple people like this all the time. You know, like, I need to know what's happening right now. I'm a millennial. I want instant gratification. And I want to know that everybody that I wanted to be okay is going to be okay, even though that can't happen now because everybody's dead.
Well, not everybody. I mean, Arya's dead.
I know. Well, I mean, I told you the people I wanted. A lot of the people I wanted to be alive are alive, but a lot of them are dead now too. Yep. So I don't know. I have to process that. I need to grieve.
Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of time to breathe. We'll hang out for a little bit. We'll have the off-air discussion, and then we'll come back in a little bit after you've had time to recuperate.
Cry. Oh yeah, recuperate. Yeah, that's what you meant.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you need to cry, you can cry. No judgments for me. It's a rough episode. Look, there's other shows that I've cried.
And she didn't get to see her sons.
No closure there. No closure.
No closure. None. Yep. And even Jon Snow, no closure. Nobody has closure.
Yep. And Bran and Jon Snow were so close. They were
so close.
So close, so close, and yet so far.
Could you not sing right now? Because this is not the time to sing. I said, do you want to find me? Do you want to catch me?
So what was with those words that they say? I thought that they were activating the Winter Soldier with the words that they say when they get married.
I was like, what does that have to do with a marriage ceremony?
Meanwhile, Bucky Barnes is killing someone. You know, who knows?
Probably he's been activated.
Best crossover episode ever.
Another name added to the list.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
Oh,
all right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back.
Or maybe not.